Yes, we are back again in Train Sim World number 5, but not for much longer. Back again to do some more Manchester Airport Commuter, which is a route around the airport in Manchester. I know, controversially, we will talk about Train Sim World 6. Well, I can't really say much about Train Sim World 6. I don't know anything, but it has been announced today that there is going to be a Train Sim World 6. More to be announced next month. So that's a thing. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, hello. Hi. Howdy doody. This is going out on a day. Saturday, probably. There are some other things going out on some other days. Monday and Wednesday and Friday, because I was actually waving. Because that's the... I know, because that's the day that they go out. There'll be links in the doobly-doo below to where you can get this route. There'll be a link down there to the Twitch page where you can watch me live on the Twitchy 6 days of the week doing all sorts of things, including this. And the link down there to the Discord server as well. We will talk briefly. Well, I never talk briefly, obviously. But we will mention that. The roadmap announced today. A couple of things coming within Train Sim World 5. Quite a few things coming. Some routes and some locos for Train Sim World 6, including the Tanami line eventually. And some other stuff as well. Pacer I see in there. The Great Western Express remaster and the Mildmay line extension all coming in Train Sim World 6. But today, and look at me bringing maps up and everything. Another 4-line run we'll do first on the Manchester Airport Commuter. Then we'll do a couple of the trains and the shorter routes, the stuff I didn't do last time. Although if you're watching this on YouTube, some of those may have already been on YouTube. I know, I've recorded content. Good evening then to Trenty, Nigel, Chef Lad, McBone, and the rather now red Amy Lou. Let's jump straight in to the Manchester Airport's commuter type thing. We'll do a weekday timetable. We'll do the first run in the 323, then we'll look at some of these other ones afterwards. We will do a run from... I want to start at the thing, and we want to go to the... there you go. Manchester Piccadilly to Alderley Edge via Stockport. Now, Stockport, for those of you that don't know, is south of Manchester. It's a revelation, I know. That's what we're going to do. We're going to drive it. I just thought I'd get that out there, that I know which direction it is. You lot last time thought I didn't know. I did. You should be so lucky, Trent. Right, that's track IR. We'll get rid of that. I'll turn the volume up. We'll get some electrics on. We'll put the reverser into forwards, because that's probably the way that we should be going. We'll open the doors. Have we got lights? We have. Yeah, I apart from the camera collisions. Thank you. Because Unreal being Unreal. So if I do that and then that, there you go. There's the thumbnail. So wait until 10:01. Let's open the window. The window is open. So we're going to some places. We're going to Levenshulme, which I still reckon sounds posh. It probably isn't. Heaton Chapel. That doesn't. Stockport. Cheadlehume. Handforth rather than Handfifth. Wilmslow. We had this discussion last time about standing on a corner in Wilmslow, Arizona. And then Alderley Edge. So a 4-line run without going to the airport, because we will do that afterwards in some other trains. I'm really liking this. So if you watch this on YouTube, I've already put out a couple of videos I think by the time this comes out, you might have had one. There might be one to come of me doing a couple of runs in this. For those watching live, they haven't been out yet, so keep an eye on the YouTube. I prefer this over Glossop. I think this is more interesting than Glossop, mainly because it seems busier, and I do like the fact that there are the other trains as well if you've got the layers. So if you've got West Coast Main Line, then you get the layering with the Pendolino. If you've got whichever one other one it was, you get another layer as well. You bet one's out tomorrow. You'll have to wait and see, won't you? Right, 30 seconds and we can do the departures. Oh, I am such a tease. And then we shall make our way down to Orderly's Edge. The edge of Orderly. Is an orderly something that works at a hospital? Was that an orderly? Rather than orderly. What we have an elderly orderly at Orderly's Edge? That was loud. Right, 2.7 miles then to Levenshulme. In the nice little 323. Well, you'll have to wait and see, Trenty, won't you? Hi, Connor. In fact, I can't remember what's coming out tomorrow. It's nothing to do with it. It had to be something. Fridays have become the trucking thing, which I'm really enjoying. I don't care whether no one watches them, I will finish them. Alright, 25 of the limity type speedy thing coming up. There's a red. And you can tell that by the way that it's a red. Actually, it might vanish now because we're changing the tracky things. No, it's still a red. Hello, it's a train. Hello, train. I shall give you the tooty thing. There you go. Right, the red has gone. No idea, chef lad. Gone off to enjoy his life. Oh, we've got 25. Okay, well, we'll slow back down again then. I was just about to do the speeding up in a Buxford style, and we got a change over here. Then we got a 65, then a 30. Okay, well, not exactly rapid progress down towards Levenshulme. Why is it a 30? We've got to change tracks again. I'm guessing we've got to change tracks again then. That's why there's a 30. It's obviously a longer set of points. There's a train. I'd see a train. As long as we haven't got to change tracks again, we'll be okay. It's a freighty train. Right, now we can speed it up. There was a lot of track changing as we came out. It's hard to keep... Really, Trent? Really? That was... Really? You should be ashamed of that one. You're proud. Are you proud? Is that a combination of proud and round? Proud. I see him. I think Trent's been saving that for a while. I reckon he's got some written down. He just finds the appropriate moment. Well, I would do the speeding up thing, but we got a 45 coming up again, so there's no real reason to actually go flat out, is there? In that case, we will slow down. Slow down. Who was that? Who did that? But it was someone. It's a ballady person. Don't know who it was. Hi, Daz. Doing good. Hi, Daniel. Right, 45s. We could cross back over. Why did we stay on those tracks over there then? Why do we have to go all the way over to the right to come back over to the left? Nah, it just seems bad planning. No, we will do as we're told. Well, we can't really have much choice, don't we? We can't really protest, can we? At the person doing the pointy things. You can't. No, I don't want to go over there. I refuse, because you're like, okay, we're going over here. Right, slowly. We're now arriving at Levenshulme, which does sound posh. I bet it isn't. And we're late. That's fine. Oh, I see what they did there. Look, it's written on the building and everything. Right, opens the doors on the left. I really hope they sort out the camera collisions in Train Sim World 6, or it's probably still going to be using Unreal 4. So, probably not. Wow, he didn't get very long, did he? No, it's because we're 30 seconds late. So yeah, we're doing a full run down to Alderley's Edge, and then we'll try some other trains that are available if you've got the associated other routes. So we won't just do 350s. 350s? 323s. This is 323. Gentrification, I say. Look at Nigel using gentrification on a Tuesday evening. A multicultural community, lively atmosphere, so things are on fire, and a thriving independent scene. Police won't go there. It retains some of the grittier aspects of a suburb. That could probably describe most of Manchester, couldn't it? How am I today? Really good. You mean, so it's experienced gentrification, which means people have been there a while, so everyone's old. Is it one of those areas of Manchester that you don't go at night? Unless you're a local. And even then, you know. Right, we are breaking into Heaton Chapel. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Ted is amazing. Heartstopper, that is just such a feel-good show. I was tempted to start watching Slow Horses, or continue to watch Slow Horses last night after the stream. But ended up watching motorcycle reviews, rather oddly. We're now arriving here. I'm not even going to risk going anywhere near that red light. That can stay down there. I've never seen Extras. I like some of the series that Ricky Gervais did. Afterlife was just fantastic. That's one of those I'd forget about, see? That's why I was hoping for like a two-way discussion thing. But anyway. Because there was one he did before Afterlife as well that was really good. Yeah, they are doing fixes for this. Right, Stockport is next, which, as we all know, is north of Manchester. 1.6 miles to go. Power to the people. Yeah, Derek doesn't appeal to me. Not the Derek in the Community, he's quite cuddly. But Derek, the TV show. And I don't know, Connor, that's where IMDb is always useful. I do that when I'm watching a lot of shows. Type the name of the show in, find the episode in the morning, and go, ah, that's what that person's in. You sort of recognise them from other shows. Maybe a little bit jittery. Right, we'll shortly be arriving at Stockport. Stockport is the next station stop. Over the bridge you go. But I'm only 8. I don't care. Over the bridge you go. Have I pre-recorded anything in the bus? I can't remember. No, last thing I did in the bus came out a week ago, last Monday. There might be some Womsey coming. I don't know, I had a major recording session last Saturday. I can't remember what I did. We have arrived at Stockport. Yeah, I'm really liking this route. Considering I was cautious is probably the word to use. Bus was Monday. Yeah, that was the multiplayer one that we did last week before. So yeah, now I've almost got myself back into a routine again now. Now I've got time on my hands. Monday's something bussy. Wednesday's short train sim. Fridays is ETS2 / it's going to work into ATS, I think. And then Saturdays is long train sim. And if I get anything new, that'll go out on a Sunday. So you're almost planning. Right, Cheadlehume is next. Trent's there. He's been in OMSI all afternoon, I think. I think he's trying to get few OMSI sessions in before he has to leave the house on Thursday. I'm not dragging him out. He's dog sitting for 10 days. That sounded a bit weird. Going over the points. Almost like there's something wrong with that. It's like, yeah, that inbound train to Piccadilly is slightly broken. Hey, all right, Trent. I've got my eye on it. It's fine. No one's noticed. It's only because I mentioned it recently. No one noticed it. No one's noticed for the last probably 2 years that I've done that. Have I needed prompting then? No. Just because I forget once or twice, look. You'll think I'm some sort of imbecile. Left which two? That's better. Right, what we'll do is we'll have a look when we get to Alderley Edge to see if there is something going back north. See, I knew. But if not, we'll go back to the menu and then do some of the runs to and from the airport. In some of the other trains. Why would you get... Okay. Of all the electric cars to get, Smart would not be in my list of electric cars to get. There's a reason. The older ones were a lot of Mercedes-Benz stuff. A lot of the newer ones are now, they're in collaboration with, oh, who's the big Chinese, one of the Chinese manufacturers. Geely? Could be Geely. The underpinnings are basically Chinese. The hashtag 1 or whatever it's called is basically bland. If I was going to go for an electric car and you want something on a budget for the last few years, you know what I would look at? An MG. They are getting really good reviews. Basic, yes. But actually funky basic. Your Amazon just delivered your headset. Ooh.
Ticket checks are in operation at this station. Please have your tickets available for inspection.
I haven't got a ticket. How can I have it available for inspection when I don't have one? Right then. Aha! I see the back of a body. Yep. It's 2. Look. Is there one? Hang on, we need one over. Oh! We could have got like 3 in a row, couldn't we? If there'd been one over here. If you'd have been bored... He's got hair. If you'd have been bored, we'd have been fine. Is there a... Hang on, we got a ponytail. You've got a... Excuse me. Sorry, apologies for leaning over you there. I don't think you... Unless you've noticed, you seem to have a ponytail. And... I don't think you're a pony. You might be. I don't think you are. And you've got your baseball cap on the wrong way round. Just saying. What's that over there? Oh, I almost want to go over there. I haven't got time. I've got time. I want to go over there.
Please have your tickets ready for inspection.
I'm over here now. I'm going to go back. I've got to leave. Ow! Is it raining there? Watch out for that. Hello. Oh, hello. Oh, don't go down there. Around there. Excuse me. Coming through. Excuse me. Your baseball cap appears to be on. It's Trent. Hello, Trent. Trent doesn't wear a pink baseball cap and doesn't drink coffee. Apart from that, or I've never seen Trent wear a shirt like that, or shoes and it's older Trent. But he's one of those people that wear the massive headphones. I don't get it personally, but okay. Each to their own. Right, hand forth. Hey, see, we were on time. Even though I did run around and took the mickey out of some passengers. It's fine. Tomorrow night, I know. Back doing some more trains. Railroads Online. Well, potentially it might be me and Trent. We haven't really confirmed who's going to be around. So it could be me and Trent doing some Railroads Online tomorrow night. In that case, there ain't going to be a lot of stuff being shifted. Thursday night, something. Was going to do some British Railways, but I thought 3 days of trains in a row. Yeah, maybe not. So I might do something else Thursday night. Friday night, we'll be here with some quizzing. Saturday night, now, I probably will be here. Because I might be going to... I'm going to say this quietly. Luton. The following Saturday. So in that case, I'll be here this Saturday and then not the next one. So Saturday night I'll be here doing something. I might fire up MSFS Saturday night. Bit of a flight. And play some tunes and stuff. That might be a thing for Saturday. And then Sunday back on the farm. No, it's weather dependent next Saturday. Might be going to finally do the busway in Luton. Which unfortunately does mean going to Luton. Alright, Handforth is next. In 1 mile. Yeah, so I don't think because of the announcement today mentioning Train Sim World 6, which I can bring up on screen. No, not that one. No, that one. There is some stuff coming between now and Train Sim World 6's announcement, release rather. But not a lot. More stuff coming once Train Sim World 6 lands, which is going to be September. They can send their complaint. Yes, that's the dovetail announcement. It is Train Sim World 6. Which hopefully I'll be able to bring you before release. We have arrived now at hand 4th, as opposed to hand 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. I don't know why you need that many. Because it said Train Sim World 6 on it. That's the clue, really, isn't it? I thought they might have gone down the same route as Train Sim Classic and just called it Train Sim. Well, I can't seem to open the doors. The doors. Doors now open. Yeah, but that's the same difference, though, Connor. I sort of get why they've done it, because if you still want the core updates, you still have to buy the newer version. So on one hand, yeah, I can see keeping it one thing, but I also quite understand that having a new version each year, you know, it on every other platform, it's accepted, and don't forget, you don't have to upgrade. If it's anything like last year, then you'll get the free core update to the game. If you've got Train Sim World 5, you can upgrade to Train Sim World 6 for free and get the core features. If you want the extra features, then you can buy the stuff accordingly. So you haven't got to do it. You can just stay with Train Sim World 5. All the routes pre-Train Sim World 6 will work. You know, there's routes in this. You know, you can pick them up for Train Sim World 2. They'll work in Train Sim World 5. So you're only paying that extra bit for the features for the new game. There's no obligation for you to do it. But I am looking forward to, you know, whatever is going to be new in Train Sim World 6. 26. I think there'll be news on the 26th of August. That's after the ambassadors meetup down at their offices, which I actually signed up to go to. And then you won't see actual content until, well, a couple of days or maybe a week before release, which that'll be probably beginning of September. That's where the training comes in handy, Connor. Alright, 600 yards until we arrive. You probably had a door open. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what routes we get. So what are going to be the core routes? Previously it's been something British, something American, something German. Be interesting to see what we get, and we haven't got long to wait. You know, still can't believe we're end of the first week of July. Where's it going? Another 3 weeks, we're into August, and then get into September, and that's it. Dark nights, heating on. Summer gone. Actually, it's not, because we had some nice time in September. Hopefully it's nice when we go to Doncaster. Right, Audley Edge. Christmas room. It won't be long. Alexa, how many sleeps till Christmas?
Good evening, Steve. It's 170 sleeps until Christmas. Santa has a Christmas cracker joke he wants to share with us.
What do angry mice send to each other at Christmas?
I don't know.
Cross mouse cards!
Another cracking joke, Santa.
come back tomorrow for another Christmas update.
That was bad. You can get some good deals now. If you've got Train Sim World 2 and you're thinking the update to 5, make the update to 4. Some of the routes for 4, look at places like CD Keys, or even the PS Store. There are some good deals out there for the older versions. So yeah, when 6 comes out, you'll probably get 5 cheaper. But yeah, even do the upgrade to, if you got 2, get 3. I bet 3 is really cheap on CD Keys. Get 3, spend some time in it, look at the routes you got with 3, then get 4. And then by the time you've gone through the new routes with 4, get 5. It is worth getting the versions for the routes. And there are some deals to be had. There was Humble Bundle deals out to give you a lot of routes, which are always worth grabbing. And my advice, as always, if you've got the capacity, keep as much installed as you can. You know, if you like the British stuff and you're fortunate enough to be able to get all the British DLCs, install them all, because at least then you get the layers.
Did you hear about the train driver that couldn't lie? He always told the choo-choo truth.
Oh dear, Don. Thank you very much, though, you sexy Irish beast, you. 63 of the months. That is a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You've also got me reinstalling, or having reinstalled, MSFS. Mevo, thanks for the follow. 6 more months to go, you wish. No, Don's got a really... Don's voice does something to me. I shouldn't tell him that. Otherwise, we'll never get him over here again. Right, we have arrived at Alderley Edge. At the end of the line. Right, so what we'll do is we'll go back into free roam. I'll get out of here. I've reinstalled the old one, the 2020. I'm going to do a couple of flights to see if I've still got the bug. And if I have, then I'll get the new one. We went through Bakewell last year. And I want to go back. What's the bug? As in, no, if I get the bug. I mean, you know, if I want to get back into it again. No worries, Don. I'm sure we'll catch you on something next year. Right, 10:37 is the first train in, going to Manchester Piccadilly. Right, we don't know what that's going to be. But could that be a 323? And God mode doesn't work. Let's go back to the menu. In case it is a 323. Yeah, if I was going to the Greatest Gathering, my plan was, because I'd only probably be there an hour, my plan was to then sort of bus it up into Bakewell and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Right, Manchester Airport Commuter, weekday. Right, so we've done the 323. Let's see what there is in the 150. So Wilmslow to Manchester Piccadilly via Stockport. That's pretty much what we've done. Oh, there we go. Manchester Piccadilly to Manchester Airport. That's going down the other way. Right, let's do that then in the 150. Piccadilly to the airport, and then see if we can find something from the airport, maybe back again in something else. So we'll do a bit of diesel-y action. I do like a bit of diesel. Right, shove my thing in. Maybe. Hello. There you go. Forward. Thank you. Window open. Window open. Unlock doors on the right. Oh, that smoky 150. Abort? Really? Already? I've just sat down. Baldy! There's one. We got no lights. See if we can turn the lights on. Can I sit down? Thank you. Where are the lights in the train? That's some switches. Oh my good God. Crew lights. Put those on. That'll do. Have a look on CD keys then. You can buy PlayStation keys on CD keys. Hi Nico. Right, 4.7 miles then to East Didsbury. Are we separate doodahs? How is one? One is good. We're off. Can you ask a question? Always ask permission. It's always left foot first and red. There you go. Done. That's 3 possible answers. Alright, so making our way into 150 now then, down to the airport. Anyway, am I heading north or south? West. Go west. The red car and the blue car had a race. All that red could do was stuff its face. Oh, we're losing. Bye! They're going. They're off to London, they are. London. From Manchester. Just for Nico's benefit. There you go. Right, go. You blinked and missed that. Ah, it's your own fault. Something's going wrong with this stream. Is it? Doesn't that normally happen? I've not passed a red. There is still time. Hi, Barry. Right, so we've done 323. We're into 150 now, going down to the airport. Well, then we get to the airport we'll see what we can bring out of the airport. See if we can do a 153 or 350. I don't know if the 350s would run into the airport. I think they do. And then, did we do the Pendolino last time? I think we did, didn't we? I can't remember. That was a week ago. Did we? Did we just do 323s? I'm definitely really liking this route. It is very good. As routes do go. Oh, flipping out, we got 45. There's the changing of the tracky things. Let's put a bit of a breakage on then. Slowly, this train. Don't stop for no one. This train's got a mind of its own. Is there a brimful of Asher on the 45? Showing your age there, Nigel. It is very electricity. Hello, train. Oh, God, multiple trains. And then a train sandwich. Watched the end of a video when I came in from work. Sorted Food doing a live thing. Cheese ice cream. I'm not sure how I feel. What should it be? I don't know. Cheese ice cream, cheese flavored ice cream. I'm not sure. Yeah. Cheese ice cream. Well, they said, the people tasting it said it tasted really nice. It's like, no. Mint choc chip is about as, daring as I'll get for ice cream. I did like, they did a video on crisp flavours. Trying to guess them. Which was yesterday, I think it was. There's some weird flavoured crisps out there. Avocado flavoured crisps. With the testers, Wallace and Gromit. Jeez, Gromit. Right, we are literally flat. Top speed of this is 75. We're doing 72. We are flat out in a 150. Yeah, I don't really do cold things. I'm not a cold things person. But yeah, mint choc chip cornetto. If the weather's really hot. I haven't had an ice cream this year. Slowly-ing. Slowly-ing. What? Slowly-ing. Okay, the brakes aren't bad for a 150. Yeah, I just think after the stream, I'm not going to sit there at 8:30 at night and eat an ice cream. I'm at work during the day. At the weekends, I haven't thought of it because I've been industrious. So I don't do ice cream. did I want both videos likened in Discord? Why bother? No one looks at anything that's linked in Discord. I should just delete the server. Miserable bunch of toe rags. No, it's fine, Trent. Don't worry. Right. Doors are opening on the left-hand side of the train. Because that's the side where the platform is. Opening on the right-hand side will be stupid. I would never do such a thing. Well, maybe. There's a long delay. I'm pressing my horn button. It's not doing anything. There's definitely a delay. I'm locking doors. Doors up. I'm pressing my door lock, but now it locks. That's a delay. Has this had an update? It has. Right. A 5-second delay in brakes and things. Hosepipe ban. I haven't got a hosepipe. Doesn't bother me. I know some people look at stuff that's posted, but yeah, most people don't. McBone. Of the 350 people in the Discord server, I think I could get rid of 320 of them. And the 30 that are engaging, it would be exactly the same as it was now. I mean, no, there are key people that engage and stuff in the Discord, which is fantastic. A lot of people don't. And I get why. If you're in multiple servers, I never post anything in the Dovetail servers that I'm in. Nothing. So I sort of get it. I keep an eye on them. I don't post anything. So I get it's the same with my server. Do I see fog happening? No, you need to clean your screen. Right, we have 3.1 miles from Manchester Airport in Zvan 50. We'll have a look and see what there is from there, departing, going somewhere else. But if not, we'll go back to the menu and see if we can do the 153 or the 350 or the Pendolino. Very, very musical today. I don't know why. There's no sun up in the sky, stormy weather. Am I okay? I'm in a really good mood. I've been in a good mood since the weekend. I don't know why I decided to slow down then. I'll speed up again. Gotta speed it up, and then you gotta slow it down. No, I'm not okay. There's something wrong with me. I don't know what. Well, we're not due at Manchester Airport for another 7 minutes. So is it going to hold us on the outside of Manchester? There's an image. Can we have the miserable Steve back? No! I like being happy. Stops me rolling out of bed. We got a we got to turn off down here, haven't we? So better put the right hand indicator on. It's not my birthday, is it? No, February. I wish. No. I think it's going to be a very long time before anybody comes back into the house. Exactly. Fork off to the right, down here. Counts birthdays every 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. Oh no, what's next year? 27? '27. Yeah, next year. I'll think about that for a little while. Plus the rest. Well, obviously, on February the 10th, it'll be 27 plus a day. Actually, if Trent leaves, like the other two have done, then no one will have seen my passport. A leap year. That must be really odd if you're born on a leap year, because technically your birthday is every 4 years. Imagine applying for a job when you're 40 and you go, right, how old are you? 10. Why is a 10-year-old applying for a job? Because technically you've only had 10 birthdays. It's because Trent doesn't like birthdays. Trent don't go. Well, we thought that about the last two. That took a long time for me applying the brakes. I don't know why there's a lag. If Trent goes, you'll be the last man standing. Right, braking. Oh, now it's gone yellow. Right, platform 1. I reckon we have to wait for that to come out. Right, so 150 down to Manchester Airport. We just missed a 323. We'll have a run around Mike Reed styley and see what there is leaving here. Tomorrow night, by the way, we're back with more trains. Railroads Online. I know it's me and Trent. It could just be me and Trent. We'll see. That's tomorrow night. Thursday night, something. Don't know what. To be confirmed. Friday night is some quizzing. Saturday night, looks like I will be here. I might fire up MSFS, and a bit of a fly on Saturday night. I need to work out on my G1000 isn't working in the 172. So a bit of a fly and some tunes on Saturday night. Sunday, not Jets, 172. Sunday we're back on the farm. Oh God. But some lag. Right, so we're a little bit early. The second one out of here is going to Llandudno Junction. Right, so that's arrived at Manchester Airport. That's starting at 10:35. How do I get out of here? Can't get out! Yeah, I haven't got God mode, doesn't seem to be working, so I will just have a run around and see what's going from the other platforms. Right, what are we here? We are 10:13. 10:19 is going back to Manchester Airport. That hasn't come in yet, so don't know what that's going to be. And then round here we've got the 10:57 to Crewe, and over there Godmo has been updated. Yeah, I'm in the release preview version as well still, and that's at 10:19 going to Manchester, and nothing over here. I'm guessing no. Was that a bloke on the platform with a black skirt on? We're not going to judge. It was a suitcase. We could have just come here, couldn't we? 10:57, 10:19, 10:37. So yeah, so there's nothing leaving soon. We could hang around and see what comes in here, because that's due back out again in 5 minutes. It doesn't give it long to turn around. I reckon it might be a 323. Where's it going? Hang on, that's inbound, isn't it? Service terminates here. What's the second? 10:29 to Blackpool. Right, we can't wait that long then. Baldy! We go back to the menu. Right, we'll check the 153 and see, because we've done the 150. We've done the 323. Let's see if we can get the 153. Manchester. Right, 153. Have we got one that goes from the air? Oh, hang on. Manchester Airport to Piccadilly. There we go. That'll take us back to Piccadilly in the 153. That works. That'll do. Platform boardies don't count. They need love as well. Boardies are people too. Love, yeah. I'm never doing that again. Right. Oh, hello. Right, forwards. Unlock doors on the right. Where are the train lights? Oh, there. Day headlight. That's a long 153. I was hoping for a single car. Okay, we are many 153s. Yeah, I think it was on the board. Oh, hello. I'm not stood up. Okay, let's go and see if we can find one then. As we got, I can't get out the door. Is there a... No. Have they all gone off on holiday? There's one! Baldy! Woo! Hello! No one over there. Hello. Oh God, you got a ponytail. Is your name Tiger? Right, let's get ready to rumble. So back to Piccadilly. Into 323. No, 153. Yours is blonde. It's your blonde bombshell. Dye blonde or natural blonde? I bet dye, but bleach blonde. A baldy hunt must happen in Doncaster. Imagine pointing one out and saying baldy out loud. I think there'd be a trip to A&E. Natural blonde. Oh, blimey. Good job you're not going. Right, we're off. Right, 153 time then. Back to Manchester. Oh, I do like the 153. It's a bigger window and everything. Number of times you're mistaken for a woman. Do you have breasts? Is that the giveaway? Have you got a really small penis? Right, back to East Didsbury, then back to Piccadilly. To which one? Both. Why am I thinking about sausage rolls right now? Right, go. If for any reason Ed doesn't make it to Doncaster, I'm going to have to go to Manchester. And although we did this route in December when we were there, I think it almost makes me sort of want to do it again. I'm going to have to go back through a list of the routes. Because some I think well, I know I've done... I don't know if I've done all of the London one. I know I've done Barking Riverside. That one. I've done London to Brighton. I don't think I've done the whole of East Coast Way. I've done West Cornwall local. I haven't been all the way to Milton Keynes on West Coast Main Line South. Certainly haven't done the Scotland ones. Portsmouth isn't in this. Have we heard from Ed? Yeah. He's doing okay. Oh, a little bit speedy. Yeah, so I think I have to go through a list of the UK Train Sim World routes and work out which ones I haven't been on. I can't remember. A lot of the time I was just getting on and off trains without having a clue where I was going. Birmingham Cross City I've done. Yeah, I haven't done... We've done Glossop. Did that. And I have done this. Obviously Bakerloo line I've done. Great Western Express. No. I'm going to have to go through them. Yeah, I've done all the Cardiff Bay. Yeah, I've done all the ones on the... Oh, no. No, I haven't been to Heath High Level and Heath Low Level. I don't know. I can bring up the thing again. There we go. That's the roadmap that was released today, which mentions Train Sim World 6. It does say we've got Great Western Express remaster coming, a Mildmay line extension coming, another cargo line, another unnamed route, the 142, the Pacer, the Tadami line, and then there will be add-ons for 3 routes, 3 locos for Train Sim World 6, and then core optimizations, and still some stuff to come for Train Sim World 5. So a few bits and pieces. Right, 1.9 miles to East Didsbury. As I've said recently, we've got the meet-up at Doncaster coming up at the end of September, which is going to be awesome. A few new faces, a few new people that haven't been to meet-ups before, which gives people an opportunity to get to meet me and get to meet some of the regulars. Trent, Nico, Ed, Richard. And hopefully it means then that next year, when there may be opportunities to do new things, like, anyone with an interest in Train Sim World, right, do a meet up for a day, go and travel on the new Train Sim World route, see how it compares to the one in Train Sim World. So although Doncaster's a weekend thing, it would be nice to do some things that were just a day, which is always tough when you've got people all over the country. But if Nico can go from the Lake District and end up in Brighton and back home again the same day, I'm sure no one else should have an excuse why they can't do it. Still can't believe he did that. That was a long day. Well, yeah, we went to London for a day and it's like, well, it's only like 12 quid to go to Brighton. Let's go to Brighton. So Nico ended up in Brighton. I would like to go back to Brighton. Right, we have arrived at East Didsbury. Welcome aboard this Transport for Wales service to Llandudno Junction. Calling at some places. There's definitely a delay. Come on. I've pressed my view button. Thank you. Right, Manchester Piccadilly then. 4.6 miles. So that was a one-stop airport commuter run. Alright, then we'll see if we can do... Well, we got the 158. So maybe we just get rid of the diesels and see what we can do in the 158 next. Isn't Llandudno where it started from? Well, no, it's going to Llandudno Junction. That's the point. Yeah, it's going to Manchester. Why is it saying Llandudno on there? They need to connect this to Preston. I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing what we get as a UK route with 6, because historically we've had a UK. It's not driver error. I'm perfect. I'm like Mary Poppins without the umbrella and the big bag. We've traditionally had a UK route, an American route, and a German route, and it does say on the thing, I'll bring it up again, route, loco, loco, loco. So it's going to be a route that gets its own loco. So what that's going to be, don't know. Platform 14 is a through platform. Oh. So we could be going through Manchester and onwards. Well, we should get one of each. We'll find out more on the 26th of August. He says. Right, so 3.5 miles back to Piccadilly. In a nice little 153. It'll be a route with a new train. Well, yeah, well, we got when we got West Coast Main Line South, the train was the Pendolino. What's with the line on the windscreen? Heating element. Don't forget, I'm actually at Dovetail the weekend before, so I will know the week before, but that's just when they're making it public. Yeah, I think I am, mainly because I want to find out. If they're paying 100 quid towards my travel expenses, then bring it on. Well, don't forget, I generally know about things before I can say anything. I knew about the announcement that they made today in advance, but not allowed to. I'm told to keep quiet. Right, round the corner. Yeah, I don't know where I'd like. My ideal would be to link something we've already got. I hope it's not East Coast Main Line, because I just think that's incredibly boring. I'd love for it to be West Coast Main Line. You know, give us the next bit. Give us Milton Keynes to Birmingham, because then that would be quite interesting. Or is it, you know, they're enhancing Great Western Express? Does that mean we're going to get a bit more of that? Does that mean we're going to get Reading to Bristol? Because that'd be quite nice. Even if it is just, you know, Didcot, Swindon, Chippenham, Bath, Bristol. Don't know. This definitely still seems quite quiet for Manchester. Again, I've never been into... No, I have been... No, I have done this route. It was dark. We went and met Dom Rado off the plane, and it was dark. So I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on the actual route. I couldn't even tell you what sort of train it was we got on. We got on a train that was going to Manchester. It was quite trainy. I don't know. They've got names and numbers and things. Well, again, that's... I'm not saying this is Dovetail's problem, but that's the issue you get with not having all the layers that are going in and out of mainline stations, which is why Great Western Express is so empty, because you've only got the HST and the 166 going in and out. You haven't got anything else. Exactly, Nigel. That's why I said last week, I think, what I'd rather see is them make more use of a hub. So, like we've got with Brighton. We've got London to Brighton and then East Coastway, both coming out of the same hub. And we've got that in Scotland. So you're getting multiple services in and out of one mainline station. Which means then if you've got the layers installed, you'll see more AI. And I think that's what people want. Yes, we want drivable services. Yes, I'd love a longer service. You know, I'd love a 2-hour run. I think that would just be amazing to be able to do a proper full-on couple of hours. But okay, we've got around the hour. That's fine. So what I think we need is busyness. And I've said it multiple times. Get rid of the repairing fences. Get rid of the putting up posters and collecting things and finding things. It's train sim. It's not repair a fence simulator. Give us more routes. Well, we've got some Pancras, haven't we? On Southeastern High Speed. You know, I'd love to see Eurostar. Give us a Eurostar service, even if it's just to Lille. We have arrived at Manchester Piccadilly. You can tell that by the sign. Yeah, East Midlands trains going out of St Pancras, didn't they? Why have I done that? I didn't want to do that. What about the main menu? Right, so we've done the 323 from Manchester down to Audley Edge. We've done the 153 from the airport. No, from Piccadilly down to the airport. We've done the 150 from Piccadilly down to the airport. The 153 from the airport back to Piccadilly. Now we'll see if we can find the last Boy Scout. No. 158. That's going to Barrow. That's going. We don't want to go up there. No. Right, let's do the reverse run back down to the airport then in the 158. I do like to say, if you've got these layers, it means you get these extra drivable services on the route. So you're not just trundling up and down in the 323. That's what I think keeps these routes interesting. That's what keeps you coming back. And that's why my initial trepidation, there's a word, for this route. That was a noise. When
Welcome to the ScotRail service.
Okay. Welcome to the ScotRail service. When I actually came onto the route and realised how good it was. Unlock doors, right hand side. Alright, headlights are on day. Yeah, we're in a ScotRail service now with no working lights. Or was that me? And no working zoom by the looks of things. There we go. Did I turn them off? I'll turn them off. That's better. There we go. I'll switch them off. Here's a test. Right, so now we're going back to the airport. Back to East Didsbury. Right, shut the doors. Brakes off. Okay. We're rolling backwards. DR8. There we go. We'll try going forwards. Stupid DR8. Yeah, Manchester Airport. Yeah, the display's bigger now. But look, you try getting in and out of multiple trains and remembering where stuff was and how stuff works. It's not easy being this fantastic, you know. Dad rides Anna. Sorry, what? Dad? Who's Anna? Why is... that's what you could come up with. Yeah, Trent, stop looking at those websites. Right, we're a two-car now, not a toucan. More likely Andrew. Well, you know. Andrew to her friends. David. Isn't he the bus we've got in Omsey? I used to have a paint job for that actually it said David on the front. This thing's definitely all noise and not a lot of go. It's like, yeah, I'm going to make a lot of noise now and not really go anywhere. Is that a sat nav? Yeah. Sat nav in case the driver forgets how to get to Manchester Airport. In 400 yards, turn right. At the roundabout, what? We will be forking off down here. So it's fairly, I say interesting is the wrong word. When you're on a commuter train doing a high-speed run, so a couple of times I've been on the 166 that's joined the Great Western Main Line at Chippenham and has had to do the dash to Swindon. And I always have visions that behind us is a really angry IET driver. That, you know, a bit like letting someone pull out in front of you and then finding out that they're going to dawdle along. You know, being stuck behind a 166. Okay, so a little bit fast into that corner. Quite fast into that corner. All the passengers are now on the left-hand side of the train. Exactly, the sat-nav should have warned me. Why isn't... Okay, this might sound like a stupid comment I'm about to make, right? with technology the way it is, SatNav allows you to know what speed limits are ahead, how much traffic there is ahead, what your best route is. Why isn't there in trains then something that will pre-warn a driver a while ahead that there is a speed adjustment? I know the signals will. Well, yeah, flashing yellow means speed change, doesn't it? Or flashing double yellow, isn't it? Speed change thing. I don't know how I'm going this slowly, but I am. So you're flashing your banner. Or your banana. I can't talk about Trent's banana, it is the PG stream. Imagine having speed cameras. Yeah, speed change and track change. Yeah. Yeah, how long before there are no drivers on trains? The difficulty there is obstacles, isn't it? Things on the track. Although, you know, if you get driverless cars that can cope with that, surely you can get a train with a bit of LiDAR that will read the track ahead. London Underground, some of the lines are driverless, aren't they? They just press a button. DLR, no one. That copes fine. Right, we are slowing down to East Didsbury. We're arriving a couple of minutes late because the driver was just plodding along. Yeah, but would you trust I'd trust a train, I think. I've seen videos of people in those driverless taxis they've got in LA, or wherever it is. That it's a bit weird. But again, no incidents, no crashes. I can see that being the future. No, there are. There are... Yeah, Johnny Cab. No, Wemo. It's a Jaguar I-Pace that turns up. And you just get in. And you've obviously already preset where you're going because you told it. And you just get in and it drives. No one in the driver's seat. It's just off you go. It takes you to your destination. Yeah, we'd have the wrong leaves on the line, wouldn't we, in autumn, and the train wouldn't go anywhere. Right, hang on, we'll stop at somewhere new. Heald Green. We didn't stop there before. Stopping in a new place. Yeah, the thing I was going to do last night, my other idea for Train Sim, which I might actually do next Tuesday, I was going to explore London. I know we've done West Coast Main Line South, but I thought I haven't done the Barking Riverside route for a while. So what I thought I might do is start at Barking Riverside, take the train as far as the bit where the Barking Riverside one ends, which I can't remember, that place, and then do the other route. So route hop and then do the other route in and out of Stratford. So we'll do both bits of the London Overground route, and now it's just put the brakes on, hasn't it? Really? Gospel Oak, that's the one. Yeah, I want to go back into London again. I was in, what, a month ago? Right, stop putting the brakes on, you stupid train. Oh, come on, can you give me the inside view? Thank you. There's definitely some view lag. I wonder if it's I've got both my flight throttles plugged in. I wonder if that's confusing it. So I use my flight throttles for the... Let's cut the brakes again. Why? I'm not downloading anything. Why are you putting the brakes on? It's not like I'm going for a neutral section. And we're electric. We're not. We're diesel. It's fine. Right, we'll try that again. 2 miles to go. Over the motorway. It'll be nice if we can. If we can get a 350 run in and then finish on a Pendolino, we'll see if we get time. Then we've done all the passenger trains that are available if you've got the right layers / routes installed on Manchester Commuter. So Heald Green must be before the point where we turn off to go to the airport. God, this thing, yeah, 1.5 miles is a 40 as we turn right. Turn right. I don't know why we got a ScotRail service down here, but okay. It's a bit away from home, isn't it? Right, braking. I watched a YouTube video on that about the biscuit wars. It mentioned Kit Kat and the rise of Kit Kat, and the fact that Kit Kat won the lunchbox wars when it brought out the two-finger Kit Kat, and it also mentioned Jaffa cakes and the fact that they won a court battle to prove that it was a cake. Not only from the whole it goes hard when it's stale point of view, but apparently they baked a bigger version of a Jaffa cake and then showed it to the tribunal, I'm guessing, where it was, the courts, and said, there you go, that's a cake. And then they did a slightly smaller version, and then the standard size version. And they said, well, at what point then does it become a biscuit, if you're saying it's a biscuit, where it's just a small cake? And so with that, and the fact that biscuits go soft when they're stale and cakes go hard when they're stale, Jaffa cakes go hard when they're stale, therefore they are a cake. But you find them in the biscuit aisle. Yeah, it's quite an interesting video on the YouTube. Right, Manchester Airport then. .5 miles, then we're jumping at 350. Get ourselves electrocuted, and then we'll see if we got time for a pendolino. I didn't really want to just run backwards and forwards to Manchester Airport, but it's the only routes that are available for these. Yes, that was their argument. Because they'd have had to put the price up if it is deemed to be a biscuit. And they also talked about hobnobs. And the fact that the bit that I didn't know was that anyone could make a rich tea biscuit. Because it's the type of biscuit. Anyone can make a digestive. So there's own brands doing digestives, doing rich tea biscuits. So McVitie's wanted a name, wanted a biscuit that could only be theirs. So they tried to come up with something and ended up with, which I never understood it, what a hobnob actually is. It's basically a flapjack in crunchy biscuit form. So they came up with the hobnob, and it was, they wanted it so it looked like it was homemade, made on a hob, and it was knobbly. That's how they came up with hobnob, and that's been a huge success for McVitie's. The best ones, of course, chocolate hobnobs. Oh yes. So yeah, so now you know what I watch on YouTube after the streams. And it mentioned the fact that there was a battle between the penguin, and then when Asda brought out their own version of a penguin called the puffin that was cheaper, and McVitie's took Asda to court over copycatting, and the only thing that Asda had to do, they could still call it a puffin, but they had to remove the picture of a puffin off of the packaging. You know what? I quite like shop brand chocolate digestives. Mainly because sometimes the McVitie's ones are too big to fit in the mug. If you're having a cup of tea and dipping a digestive in, the McVitie's ones are big. You've got to dip it, half dip it, bite a bit, turn it round, then dip the whole thing in. I quite like the own brand ones because they taste the same. Because it's a digestive biscuit with chocolate on it. What can you muck up that up with? Uh-oh. Buffers. Yep. Buffers work. Doors. Doors. There we go. Are you actually going to open? Oh, there. I forgot the 158's incredibly slowly at opening the doors. Right. Okay. So that was the 158. We'll go back to the menu. Is that a boardie on the platform? Well, apparently they don't count unless they're on the train. You can't abuse them until they're on the train. Boardie abuse will not be tolerated on the platform. Boardie abuse on the train, however, absolute fine. Right, so 350 then. That's the same run backwards and forwards, isn't it? Okay, we'll go back to Piccadilly then in a 350. We just seem to go backwards and forwards between Piccadilly and Manchester Airport. We'll go electric then, which means you might get a chance to do a quick pendolino, and then we've ticked every box, apart from the loco hall stuff. Oh, on the same platform again. This thing's going to Edinburgh? Really? Why would you... What? No. A 350 wouldn't go from Manchester to Edinburgh, surely. Oh yeah, this is the train to Edinburgh. Blimey McCharlie, I wouldn't want to do that. Baldy! Hello, Baldy. Right, can we spot a tiger? Another Baldy. Got a tiger in your tank. Hello! Are you tiger? That's not blonde, though. You've got a ponytail. Just in case you didn't realise. Calling up Manchester Piccadilly. Preston, Carlisle, Haymarket, and then Edinburgh. That's a hell of a run. It'd be an interesting run, but blimey. I do want to do, if GWR have their sale again, in January, like they have done the last couple of years, I would like to go down to Penzance again. But maybe not there and back in the day like last time. That was a long day. We single-handed doodah, we are. Right, all the way to Manchester Piccadilly then, non-stop this time. Oh, blimey. Okay, this is quicker. I'm not used to this, he said. Semicolon. Yeah, with the London North Western livery going all the way to Edinburgh. I liked Edinburgh. I was only there for a couple of hours, but it did seem nice. Right, I'm guessing that down here is waiting for me to cross. Yeah. Right, so we'll take this on the dash back to Manchester and then see if we can jump in a Pendolino to finish us off, as it were. Who matron and all that. Yeah, I'm really liking this route. I could see me doing more of this. If someone does something that adds some layers to this, as far as timetables and other stuff, that would be quite interesting. I'm sure they will. Because the mainline bit of it, going towards Piccadilly, just doesn't seem busy enough. Plane! I see the plane! Right, you're going to give me a 75? Go. Non-stop, all the way to Manchester. Mucho paro. Bounce, bounce, bounce. He likes a bit of bounce, I do. It bounces up and down. It does. It get on it and it goes up and down like a very bouncy thing. Couldn't focus on my knitting. It was bouncing up and down so much. He thought Derek was in the stream. I don't know what that was. Accent wise, reminded me a bit of Pam Ayres at the end. I don't know where that came from. Can you imagine Manchester to Edinburgh? I got right ticket to Edinburgh, job done, only cost me 485 quid. 350 pulls in, really. I've got to say, that's the one thing I like about Eurostar. You're guaranteed a seat. There is no standing. They only sell the correct amount of seats. Problem is you can't, with an open return or like an off-peak day return, you can't do that. Did Euston to Glasgow? Oh dear. Longest journey I've done on the train is Swindon to Penzance. So what was that, 6 and a bit hours? 6 hours, right? And back again. I think on the way down we changed at Bristol. On the way back it was direct. It's 2 years running we've done that. It's like 40 quid or something like that, return. for a Saturday in February? Yes, please. We'll have some of that. Thank you. Glasgow to across to Edinburgh, then down. Oh, blimey. I did quite enjoy when we did the York thing, the meet-up, what, 2.5 years ago. I did quite like, so I got the train from Swindon at like 6 a.m. into Paddington, across to King's Cross, then up to York, and then got, I think it was a 6 o'clock train back from York, back to King's Cross, and I think I was on 9 o'clock out of Paddington back to Swindon for like 10 p.m. That, because it was quite cheap as well. That I didn't mind doing on the train. Obviously, we've got, when we go to Doncaster, I've done the Doncaster to York return on the Saturday. It's like 24 quid return. You think, okay, it's an hour on the train, fair enough. I looked today, York to Shildon and back, it was like £45 return. Okay, it's a 2-hour drive. So if it wasn't for the fact that that's the same day, you know, you're travelling home, ordinarily I would have driven it. But you think, okay, I'll book it this month, it's paid for. Sometimes you can get really cheap train fares. You know, that 2-hour journey, 45 quid, you think about it, okay. Here to London, 50 minutes on the train, sometimes it's like 65, 70 quid for 50 minutes on a train. I wouldn't even entertain it. It is, because it's London. Although, if you're not in a hurry, you can do it cheaply if you went via Oxford. If you did Swindon to Oxford, and then Oxford to London, it's cheaper. And the bit that annoys me, which is one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm not going out on trains as much anymore, is that because of split ticketing, you can do exactly the same journey, but save a lot of money. Yeah, Cardiff, you can do for about 20 odd quid. Although last time I went to Cardiff, I drove to Pye Corner, so an hour down the motorway. If there's one person, you almost can go, I can justify it. When there's a couple of people, you go, hang on a minute. If we got 3 people and we're all spending like 40 quid each, it ain't going to cost that in fuel and parking. But then you look, you know, Eurostar, £39 to get from London to Brussels. Yeah, I can't get from London to Swindon for that. It makes no sense. Although I bet that same train that I booked for September, I bet that's about 150 quid now. Train travel costs make no sense. When we did Brussels to Knock, which is right on the west coast, so Zeebrugge basically, that was like about an hour and 20 minutes on the train. It was like about 14 quid return. It was stupidly cheap. So yeah, I'm saving myself a fortune now by not going out as much and not having to have as much junk food. Right, we have a 20. Yeah, someone at work just came back from Italy and said travelling around was so cheap. Burger King on Sunday. Yeah, well, there's a lot of veg Got tomatoes and lettuce and stuff in the Burger King. Hang on, this happened last time, didn't it? As soon as we got stopped down there, we can't. There's a train in the way. Which does sod off, but not for a couple of minutes. Well, America's cheap for train travel as well, if I ever get there. Oh, I didn't want to do that, did I? No, I didn't want to do that. Right, let's see if we can end then in a Pendolino, because we haven't done that yet. So we've done the 323, we've done the 150, we've done the 153, we've done the 158, we've done the 350. It's just the 390 to do then. Stockport to Manchester Piccadilly. Which way is that? Well, let's do that then. Manchester Piccadilly to Stockport. Let's go back and do that one. Setting up a new headset. They're really good. A few people from the community have got those headsets. I've got one here for my guest chair. It was mainly because the last person that was here couldn't get used to the fact that the microphone was fixed. And you hear yourself back live, and they couldn't get used to it, that you got to self-regulate your own volume by talking louder or moving further or closer away to the microphone. But I use them as a set of headphones. And they're really good. Right, doors open. Door is opening. They are. Quality of the actual headphones is really good, and the mic quality is really good. Now, I'm running a Audio Technica 80 2020 mic through an audio compressor and a mixing desk, and that headset for like 20 quid sounds really good. If I could get that through the mixing desk, I would just go with a normal headset, but I've got so used to having a separate mic now. I would like to go cordless headphones, but I don't know about the latency. Because my headphones plug straight into the output of the mixing desk, so what you hear on the stream, I hear. I don't know if I went cordless headphones, whether I'd get some latency, because I hear myself live as well. But, so at the moment I've got a cable that runs across me. But it's not the end of the world. Oddly, right, okay, headphone cable comes out the left-hand side of the headphones. My mixing desk's on the right. So the cable comes out the left, across my lap, and disappears amongst the wires. For the last couple of years, I've been thinking, right, what I need to do is put a headphone extension into that and have it run the other way. So have it run left, and then round the back of all the crap, and then plugged in. Have I done that? No. Every time it goes to the right. One day I'll move this setup into the other room as well. One day. Yeah, I quite like the headset that's downstairs. The cordless one. That actually works really well. So when I used to like the people in the community, we used to sit on a Sunday night. I'd sit downstairs and we'd inevitably either sit and chat, or we'd go on the farm or do something. And it was quite nice just sitting downstairs with a separate headset on. I did at one point have one of those Scarlett, which I've still got somewhere, Scarlett audio things, and had an XLR mic like this, which I think is now the one that's over there. so I could sit downstairs. But then it just seemed like too much of a faff. Do you honestly think that, Trent? Well, my machine downstairs won't get used again now. Right, Stockport. Have we got separate brakes in this, or is it single doobly-doo? Single doobly-doo. There's movement. Lights. There you go. Camera. Action. We've got a red down there. Why would you do that? Ignore the P. Actipom. What's an actipom? Isn't that what Australians call us? We're poms, aren't we? Because actually I was nearly Bruce. My parents signed up to be £10 poms. There was a thing in the 50s where you could emigrate to Australia for a tenner, and they signed up for it. They were ready to go, and then my mum decided that she couldn't leave her mum behind, so they didn't go. They moved to Swindon instead. But friends of theirs did. Yeah, they ended up here. That was after my mum found out that the woman that she'd grown up thinking was her mum wasn't actually her mum. Well, yeah, he only moved here because of well, what is now the BMW Mini pressings plant. So he got a job there. And because of the expansion of Swindon at the time, there was housing. So from South London to Swindon. Right, 5 miles to Stockport. I can definitely recommend this route. Is that south of Manchester? I think so. It's not quite West Coast Main Line, but it's got a good mix of stuff. It's got a good mix of runs. The problem is it's not busy enough. That's my only negative with it. I like the route itself. It just feels a bit lacking. And I don't think that's Dovetail's fault. That's because of layering. So there's obviously so many trains that are running in and out of here that, well, they're not in routes that Dovetail have done. So I suppose maybe it is Dovetail's fault. Cake. I'm going to cake. I bought crisps at the weekend. I bought a Golden Wonder, I know. I apologise. Multi-pack. It had sausage and onion flavoured crisps in it. That's the reason I bought it. It's got your traditional, you know, chicken, cheese and onion. The sausage and onion ones are weird. I'm not sure if I like them. Are they sausage shaped? Well, no, they're crisp shaped. They were cheap in the Home Bargains place. It's part of my Saturday routine now. Your sausage roll came in handy. Right, there is a red I see in the distance. How about a cheese and onion? Hang on, are we talking a cheese and onion roll like a sausage roll? Because they were a thing. Or I was thinking a cheese and onion roll, as in crusty roll, bit of strong cheddar and some onion. One of my first jobs was working at a toy factory, Bluebird Toys, and one of my jobs was putting labels on lunchboxes. That was the whole thing. Anyway, the canteen, they used to do cheese and onion sandwiches. Oh my god, they were so nice. I had no one to kiss back then, so I didn't really care. Alright, we've got a 75, 74, 75. I said I was very, very musical tonight. Definitely an oddly good mood. I'm gonna sing the blues. My name's like Elvis. Elvis sings the blues. Can we crack open Dominic? Sounds harsh. Apparently Swindon Museum's got a display of Bluebird stuff. There used to be, I can't remember what it was called. There was like a space vehicle, and there was like a little like rover thing that used to go in it, and it had like tank tracks. One of my jobs, and there was left tracks and right tracks. One of my jobs was on these tracks. There was like a circle, and inside the circle was like a little, like a blue coloured see-through bit with a little yellow gun that used to poke out of it. My job was to open these boxes of these tracks, left and right hand, and was to put in the blue bit. So I put those together and put them on the table for other people then to clip those onto the transportery thing and glue them on, and then they went onto another bit of production to be packaged up. I was just out of school. It was my first full-time job, and I was sat around a table with a load of old women, and it was great fun. They mothered me. It was awesome. But yeah, Bluebird Toys. Anyway, doors are opening. We've arrived at Stockport, which, as we all know, is north of Manchester. They used to finish at 1 o'clock on a Friday. I love that. Bluebird was bought out by Mattel in 1998. Anyway. Before I was born. Yeah, how'd that work? Memory, I didn't work there. Did you work there whilst only being 26? Past life. I've regressed. That was a previous life. I worked at Bluebird Toys. Ended in a horrific... I got killed by a stampede of wild elephants. And then came back into this life where I got born in 1999. That's what it was. Stephen is ninth life. Indeed. There we go. Anyway, what before you decided altering my age? That's slanderous. How very dare you, sir? Are you saying that I'm not 26? No, stay. You're not convinced me to do that last night. I was going to go, and we ended up doing Will and Grace, or it was. No, Grace and Frankie. Will and Grace was good. They came back and did another take of Will and Grace. It just wasn't as funny. The original Will and Grace, awesome. Anyway, one more. No, you turned up late. It's not my fault. There we go. We will end there. More trains back next Tuesday, where I'll do some work in London. We're doing a couple of London Overground lines. The one and then the other one. Whatever it is. Gospel Oak to Barking Riverside, and then the other one. Whichever one it is. The one I've probably gone past. Because I'm rubbish and all that. What's the other one? Oh, Mildmay Line. There it is. Yeah, so we'll do those two next week. And then something else afterwards. Do you want Steve Tassati? Okay. Don't forget, coming up on at the end of August, where there is that. We will be discussing that over the coming weeks and certainly beyond. Train Sim World 6 is a coming. I'm certainly looking forward to the Tadami line. The Pacer is going to be interesting. And the fact that we've got something coming for cross country before Train Sim World 6. So that's going to be in the next 2 months. So there are new things coming for 5 before we get to 6. There we go. I will end there, and well, because I am. Tomorrow night, back with more trains. I think it's me, Trenty, and Nico doing some railroads online. Does that mean I actually get to drive a train tomorrow? Could be a thing. I haven't actually done that in railroads online yet. Thursday night, something. Don't know what. I fancy something chefy. So either we'll do the Roblox chefy thing, or some cooking sim or something. I fancy something chefy on Thursday. Friday night, we're definitely here with some quizzing. Saturday night, 99% sure I'm going to be here. And if I am, it'll be Flight, the return of the MSFS. And then Sunday lunchtime back on the farm, and then more things back next week. So there we go. So thank you very much to you lot in chat for keeping me company for this one. To Mevo for following earlier. Sexy Voice Dom Rado for resubscribing earlier as well. 63 of the months. Thank you, Don Rado. Hopefully Capture in the Skies at some point. We'll see if we can entice him back to an MP flight stream. We shall see. There we go. I will be back tomorrow night then with Trenty and Nico. Oh, Jesus. I mean, yay. For some railroads online. Until then, if you have been, thank you very much for watching.